Ladies and gentlemen, Sleepo and Countrymen, Razor Blade Slim here, back in a different capacity this time. I realize I'm at to be in a more serious mode when I speak on this next issue because I realize that in order to proceed into a safe and prosperous future with what we're dealing with this political situation at hand that's unfolding every day in a, I guess you could say, in a multifaceted capacity. My words may be a little shaky, but these are shaky times. So let me introduce the subject matter. This guy here, Obama, I don't know if you recognize him. This is from the 80s. This is him in just one of the many photos that was taken of him. And as you see, he was a totally different guy then. He was kind of like, you ready for this, folks? Now, this is a subject matter most black folks don't like to really even think about because it was so embarrassing. He's a throwback to the Superfly, Mac, Black Caesar, Sweet Sweetback, J.J. Walker, Huggy Bear. I think you know where I'm going with this. The blaxploitation era. That's who he was posing as at that time. He was kind of like living the caricature of the day, you might say. And now we know at that time we know now for sure, he was really deep undercover. And he was just in character there, just, going through his day-to-day motions of being deep undercover. But relating that to what my youth and my generation was experiencing, the blaxploitation era kind of ushered in a dark period for us because we were just coming out of the civil rights era, Martin Luther King, Malcolm, the whole group, Jesse Jackson, the marches, and it was a glorious period, but most of them ended up getting locked up or killed. The Black Panthers, Stokely Carmichael, a lot of them even went crazy. Huey Newton ended up going out in a blaze of, we'll just say, unglory. Anyway, right after that period ended, here comes the 70s with movies like Superfly, The Mac. You even had some slave movies. I can't remember all the names of them, but a bunch of them came out glorifying the Nubian brothers, the black, we'll just say, the struggles that the slave period brought us, roots and all that. So anyway, we kind of rebounded out of those periods by feeling good about ourselves by having characters like this show up on the big screen. We even had a movie called Blackula. Some of you might remember that, with a great actor. I can't remember his name, Williamson something. He was a powerful, real Shakespearean actor. But he didn't get many roles because he was too good, actually, for his own period. So roles didn't really open up for him that much. But J.J. Walker's Revenge and all that stuff was coming out. But anyway, getting back to this caricature here, he and others were so embarrassing at the time that it kind of led us to a period of the boule classification of blacks were on the rise. Black folks were getting degrees in various different, we'll just say, the intellectuals were coming forth, the PhDs, the master degrees, the BSs. But for the rest of us, we were kind of left to linger in the, we'll just say, the wash or the burnout, the backlash of the Superfly Mac era. And there was one in just about every family. I'm sure if you harken back like I can, you can remember cream of the crop families, having doctors, lawyers, dentists, just everyday good people. Pharmacists, you name it. Not the neighborhood pharmacists we ended up having later on. that grew out of this period, but respectable people that went to work every day, brown bagged it. We watched at least one person out of just about every family go the way of, we'll say, the slime, scumball, street hustler, baller, Mac, daddy path that this guy took. But anyway, so I can understand how we would all be confused now. And because out of that era came the Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Dre, Ice-T, Ice Cube characters. They were like the sons, the bastard childs that characters like this created. So, and then I don't know if you've noticed, all of those characters that I just named became multi-millionaires because the government made it possible for the real musicians to disappear, like the Stevie Wonders, Earth, Wind and Fire, Commodores, you name all those groups that were popular in the 70s that were making real music with real instruments. They were replaced by the Snoop Doggy Dogg, Ice-T, Ice Cube types to come on the heels of characters like this and create a industry of brainwashing, pimp, hustler, player, killer, just destruction followed that whole genre of music. So they were well rewarded for their havoc and mayhem creations. But now if I can sum all this up into one, I guess I say fine offer, what I'm getting ready to do is put forth you ready for this? An Obama intervention hotline. That's right, folks. I'm setting up an Obama intervention hotline because what he has done is come on the heels and the backlash of all that pain and suffering from the 80s and the 70s. And now he's here in a more polished, cleaned up, bourgeois, $10,000 suit image, selling a whole new program. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the New World Order. Bot to life, and the pain that we've all been through, we had no problem accepting and digesting and gravitating towards this character because what we had all been through, everybody had an uncle or a cousin or a neighbor who took on this same persona. So to see a new shining, we'll call him knight in armor, show up at that 2004 Democratic National Convention, we were already willing and able to jump on his bandwagon. And the deception was off the charts. Every man, woman, and child that I know pretty much was sniffing up his tree. So, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is this Obama intervention program can be very beneficial. It's going to be a retrospective on how we got to where we're at now. Now, I know it's not the best offer. The only thing you can really do is look into yourself and ask yourself how we got here. Why it was so easy to hoodwink, bamboozle, finesse us into this guy's guy. Look at his hideous gaze. Look at that. Is that the look of a, you talk about a weasel. Good Lord. Anyway, I'm sure after he got through smoking that weed, he went right to the bathhouse. Because he looks like a guy that's looking for some, we'll say, exotic bohemian pleasures. And I'm sure he found them. All right. Well, folks, just tune in to the Obama intervention program and we'll try to soothe the savage beast that's been left in all of us. Until then, signing off.